my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world thrashing all around your face, never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I won't do. I'll stop the world and fondue with you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Julie's Wine and now Restaurant of the Week. I hope you had a great time. We had a really fun show last week. I know a lot of you know that song. I see Demi and my sister Lisa on. That song was huge in the 90s. Modern English, of course, reminds me, of course, of my sister, because who do you learn all your music from when you're a kid? Your big sisters and brothers, right? But my best memory of this song is from high school. My history teacher, Mr. Matt Haug, if you're out there, hey, and my religion teacher, Mr. Mike Longo, decided to do, instead of the talent show, they decided to do an event called Crossroads, where it was actually probably one of the first live band karaoke ideas in history. And instead of doing the talent show, you could come up and, you could pick a song and play with the band. And so that song was one of our house tunes. And I sang that song with them. And then we stayed together. We toured through high school, even college for me, post-college. So you might have seen us at, I don't know, some fair like the Taste of Roselle or Our Lady of Victory's Carnival, all the big, big gigs. So anyway, what is your first memory of that song? Hi, Jenny. And Eileen McFadden's in the house. I know everybody has a memory of that song. But before we get into that, last week, great show. After the show, I got a package in the mail. And my friend Leanna, who I've talked about before, who makes glassware, noticed that I usually only have big, fat burgundy glasses. And so I got this amazing thing in the mail. And I know what it is. And I know you probably don't. But Starlight Art Glasses is her company. And she sent me this really awesome, bedazzled white wine spirited convos glass. Comes with a nice little rag so you can wipe it off and not get dust on it. And it comes in this nifty bottle case, carrying case. So I thank you, Leanna. I'm going to use that tonight for our tasting. So anyway, just go to Starlight Art Glass on Etsy, and you can read the really, really cool history about these glasses and the tradition that was actually started in Chicago back in the day. Leanna is a true crystal artisan, and she will be a guest on my show soon. So anyway, stay tuned. But I would like to take this moment. As you all know, we have special guests on the show today. So I would like to welcome onto the show Darla and Jeff Lawler from Gay Haas Cafe.
Hey, everybody.
Hey there.
Hey, looking good. I see you guys are in the restaurant.
We are.
Yep, just can't get
quiet. A little quiet right now. Thanks for bringing some life to the restaurant.
Yeah, for sure. Well, today actually I was watching the Pritzker 2 o'clock, update. And, he was saying as we're getting closer to some of the loosening of the reins on this whole thing, which is good. We're going to see some restaurants opening and patios opening in the next week. And there's a lot of places that are still doing takeout. And why I really wanted you guys to be on the show is because you're doing a lot of really cool things. And it's different, I mean, you can have takeout and you can, have delivery, but how does it work with fondue? So I just, before we get into fondue, what is your favorite memory of that modern English song, Melt With You?
Well, for me, I'm a little bit older than you. It brings back memories of, I may have been using a fake ID, but going to the bars on Ohio State University's campus, me and Mr. Mustards, and dancing with all of my friends and just dripping in sweat and just great times of dancing. So
that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I'm a few years older than Darla, so I was able to drink legally. And I would find myself after a shift of management at Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant going to the cattle company just down the street. And I found myself dancing to this song, looking for Miss Right.
Oh, well, guess what? You found her.
Eventually. Not at
You found her at one of the most romantic restaurants in the city. Am I correct?
Yes.
Didn't you guys meet at Gay House? Did you meet at Gay House?
We did. Years ago, back in '97, I hired a female general manager, to run the ship at Gay House while I was operating another business for the owner, the founder of Gay House, John Davis. And Nancy worked with us for 6 years, and then she goes, you know what, Jeff, I want to go back home to Ohio to be closer to my parents. So Nancy goes back home around 2003. Her and Darla meet shortly afterwards. They become dear friends. And for many years, probably for the next 10 years, Nancy kept talking about, you gotta go to Chicago. You gotta go to Gay House. You gotta try Gay House. And that Jeff guy, I mean, he was just wonderful to work with. So Nancy just kept on trying to encourage her. In 1 year, I think it was about 2012, Darla's youngest daughter, Abby, said it was just the right time for them to come to Chicago. So Nancy set it up that they have dinner here. Darla and Abby walked in one night. I happened to be at the host stand. I greeted them. I spoiled them. And then as they were leaving, a couple hours later, I just said, may I give you a hug that you could pass on to Nancy? Where really I wanted just to give her a hug because I was really already attracted to Darla.
Smooth move, right?
Yeah. So a little story.
Well, I love that story. And, there's a lot of those stories you hear about Gay House because it is touted as one of the most romantic restaurants in Chicago. So I know there's many of those stories. So why don't we talk a little bit about the history of fondue?
All right. The history of fondue goes back centuries and centuries ago when the cheese fondue was created. The cheese fondue was created by goat herders, sheep herders, taking their herd from one side of the mountain to another side of the mountain. And this would be weeks on end traveling. These goat herders would carry dry cheese, bread, and they would have their wine to drink in their flask, in their leather pouch. Well, after a while, the bread being exposed, it got hard and got stale. So they heated up the wine. They threw the cheese into the wine. It melted down the cheese. You took the stale bread, stuck it on a stick, put it in the cheese, and you had your cheese fondue creation right there. So that's fondue. Entree fondue comes from the vineyards of Europe. This is where we all know that when it's time to pick the grapes, you had to pick the grapes in a short period of time because you just want them just right. Well, you bring your field hands out to the field, out to the vineyard, and it's time to feed them, but you don't have time for everybody to come back to the main house to eat. So what vineyard owners used to do is heat up large vats of oil out in the field so that people are picking, they get hungry. They had a fanny pack of vegetables and perhaps chicken and beef. They would just walk over, take their stick, cook it in the hot oil, eat it, take a few bites, go right back to work and cooking. That's how the oil fondue, our entree fondue was created. So in the vineyards of Europe.
Wow, it's amazing. I never really had that until very recently. And it blew my mind to be able to cook fondue. Oh, here's a picture of Geha's. This is we have a few pictures of the inside of the restaurant, and so you can see everybody out there. I see Freddie from Michigan and Barb Larson and Jenny, who I know some of these people have been to the restaurant.
Sure, thank you.
There's my mom. Hello, everyone. She's and my brother from Michigan, Mike. They all have Geha stories, which is very.
Love to hear them.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so this is how fondue started. But then all of a sudden, you guys come into the picture. There are not many fondue restaurants in Chicago, and Geha's has been around now 55 years this year, right?
This is our 55th year. Yes, we're celebrating our 55th anniversary. Not many people may know, but Geha's started as Chicago's first wine bar in 1965 at 1248 North Wells Street. John Davis, who after graduating from the University of Illinois, decided to backpack with a buddy of his through Europe for about a month or two. And while they were out there, they fell in love with wines and they fell in love with cheeses. So when they came back, they got their 9-to-5 jobs. John Davis was even a taxi cab driver for Chicago for a period of time. Well,
good old college education. Go Illini, my alma mater.
Let's say he said, you know what? Let's open a wine and cheese bar, and that's what they did in 1965. When people were drinking whiskey and beer, John Davis says, "Let's open a wine bar," and he opens a small little 1,200 square foot restaurant that featured wine and cheeses and gourmet meat and cheese boards. He introduced live classical and flamenco guitar music. Every night was playing. He featured wines from around the world. He was able to bring them in, and it really started off wonderfully. Within 6 months, he had a fire, and that really tested him. But he says, you know what? I'm going to rebuild. He rebuilt it. And went on for a few more years, or about 5 more years. It was in 1971 that John Davis moved into this location. And the true story is when he moved into this larger location we are now, he opened up with spaghetti and burgers and chicken dishes in the first few months. And one day he caught his chef cutting his marijuana in the food processor. He said, okay, no more, chef. Food's got to go. He had just experienced fondue dining in Michigan. And he says, I'm going to do fondue. And fondue was huge in the 70s. Everybody was getting a fondue pot when they were getting married. So here we are. Now, whatever that is, years later, it'd be 49 years later, we're still doing the same great fondue that he started.
Who knew that now you could have promoted that manager and been making buku bucks in your marijuana fondue infusion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an idea. Just,
Yeah.
You know what? I totally forgot that this is also a wine show, and I'm feeling a little thirsty. So everybody out there, the public, I know a few of you guys have some wine. Go ahead and yourself a glass. Look at Darla and I from earlier today. That was just today in our very casual outfits and masks. When I was picking up my lovely food pairing and wine for this evening's show. Darla, you clean up great.
Thank you. So do you.
But so everybody out there, hi, Jeff Anderson, Breakthrough Beverage, yay. And George Montgomery, all the way from California. Cheers, everybody. We'll just have a sip before we get into some more conversation. The other thing that I love about Geha's is it is a very romantic restaurant. Look at this picture. This is a picture of the East Room. If none of you have been there before, It is such a beautiful restaurant. It's right at Armitage in Lincoln Park, down close to the lakefront. And they have live music every night when the restaurants open up again. I know we're kind of in a weird time, but always a flamenco guitar player. So there's a pic of the near past, which adds to the romance, of course. And you have a beautiful patio that people can, have drinks. And when it's cold, there's a fire. And of course, in the summer, beautiful lake breezes. So it's just a really romantic looking space. And recently, we actually, Darla and Jeff, you've been great through this pandemic. We had planned on doing this wine dinner with Penfolds, and then the pandemic and the restaurants all closed. And you guys said, no, we're not gonna not do this. Let's figure out a way to make it happen. So I love the fact that you were so proactive in being willing to do a virtual wine dinner with me. And that's a picture of all of the setup in my living room that we did just about a month ago. And Darla and Jeff packs everything together, and you can have it delivered to your house or you can pick it up there. And we had 38 people for this dinner, which is just about the same amount of people as you would have in your restaurant for a regular wine dinner. And everybody picked up their equipment with all the food and everything. And your instructions were amazing, very clear from minute to minute. What would you be doing? There's my crowd, Aiden and Chaz there enjoying the heck out of an amazing dinner. So though you are closed, you are not really closed. You're doing a lot of really, really neat stuff. And more to come on that as we talk about the rest of the really cool things you have up and coming. But as a result of that dinner, we tasted through all the Penfolds line of wine back many months before then. And so, it's perfect timing. My guy just came out and did the same thing. Isn't that great? Good timing, people. And we tasted this Bin 51 Riesling, which is just amazing. Penfolds makes very limited amounts of white wine, and what they do produce is absolutely stellar, elegant, beautiful, and unexpected. And for the longest time, we weren't able to see a lot of it. So I was really happy that this was part of one of the courses for our dinner. So if everybody has their glass, I see Eileen McFadden said everything gets back to somewhat normal. Jim and I will have to come and visit this restaurant. Absolutely. Get your butts here and we'll definitely go. That's New Jersey chiming in, by the way. Phillips, Hebert. So yeah, the wines were a part of a program that started in the 1990s. And this is from Eden Valley. So this is a very high altitude region that is very similar to the Alsatian region in France. It's called the Aussie Alps, actually. And the snowy mountains are there too. So it's a really cool climate. And shockingly, these wines, white as they are long cellaring. But that's not a shock for Penfolds, because pretty much any Penfolds that you buy, you can drink it now or cellar it for, many, many years. So they produce this world-class Riesling, and it is delicious. So as usual, we're going to look at the color. So for the public out there, you want to take a look on either a white tablecloth or a piece of white paper. And this color, reflecting from the light, you can get an idea of the wine itself. I see a really light wine, lime green in hue, which means, of course, it's young and no oak. So let's give it a little sniff. Wow, this is beautiful. Anybody out there, please shout out what kind of characteristics that you get from this wine. Darla, Jeff, what do you get?
I'd say flowers. It's floral, but definitely hints of like fresh lime,
Very true.
maybe a little mineral.
And for me, and I love this, and I don't know, wine is very subjective, and it also triggers, especially aromas, trigger memories. And I get this in a lot of wines, and when I do, it just brings me back to my childhood of like walking down a gravel road while we're camping at this place in Illinois. So like, dusty gravel.
Yes.
Mm. And then on the palate, that is just spectacular.
It is lovely.
This has like virtually no residual sugar. This is the driest of the dry Rieslings that are out there. So I got really good acid and minerality. What about you guys?
I feel it all around my tongue.
Yeah.
I mean, top, bottom, sides. It's like, wow.
It's a little Granny Apple, like Granny Smith, a little.
Absolutely. Granny Smith. I see Jeff Anderson there says Stony. Yep, absolutely. Kind of like the ex-manager at Gay House. And also, there's this cucumber that I get.
Yes.
Just this kind of on the back palate, just kind of fills the back of your mouth. Yeah, but very chocolate. This only sees 3 months in stainless steel. That it ferments for 3 months and that's it. So it's a great alternative to Sauvignon Blanc. For you Sauvignon Blanc drinkers out there, I know Lisa Shupai and Demi Hannon, you're there. This is a great alternative to a Sauvignon Blanc. So let's talk about, and you can also age this. This is drinkable now, but it's good best until 2028. So for a white wine, we're looking at almost a 10-year cellaring. It's fine.
That's our house.
And not if I keep coming over to your restaurant and picking up stuff, because, steal all your Riesling.
It's lovely.
Yeah, so tonight, food pairings. Now, there's a lot of things that can go with this. Oysters off the cuff. Like I could really eat some oysters. But I actually was lucky enough to have some special place prepare some cheese fondue for me and a beautiful charcuterie plate. So I do have a mix of things. Dry cheese is awesome. Like a goat cheese is great with this wine. There's some almonds, and I'm going to eat one of those right there. Any type of fatty meat. And if you can see me back here, let me see. Which way do I turn this thing? There you go. I have my own fondue pot, which, Jeff, you're right. My mom will always tell a story. Everybody had fondue pots back in the day. So you can easily pop one of your pieces of bread in there. Give it a little mix around. I seem to have company coming over. There's like 6 of these in here. I can't get to my cheese. Oh. So what is in this cheese? Can you tell us?
It is a blend of Gruyere cheeses that are melted down with a white wine, and it's spiced with garlic, white pepper, and nutmeg. And then we throw in some Kirschwasser, a cherry liqueur, to add that little cherry flavor.
It is delicious.
My favorite bite is the grape half dipped into the cheese. I love the sweetness of the cheese and the sweetness of the grape.
Okay, grape half dipped in the cheese. So out there, the public, you're getting a little bit of an idea of what it's like to have fondue and a wine dinner at your house.
This is just the appetizer. It even gets better after this.
Oh my, and this is the appetizer.
Yes.
when we just a couple weeks ago, we did a wine dinner, and it was so much fun. Uh, Everybody had a blast. We spent a couple hours in our own homes with all of the makings. You provided all of the equipment and instructions, like we talked about earlier, and it was is really great. And at the end, yeah, there's everybody. It was a blast. At the end, there's the dessert fondue, which is the chocolate, and I couldn't figure out what this orange liqueur was for. And as everybody's talking, I'm watching the screen. People are pouring it onto their chocolate fondue and lighting it on fire. And there were marshmallows. And so I was like, oh my gosh, we have to light it? All right. So here I pour the orange on there and light it up. And that was the most delicious roasted marshmallow I've ever had. That was probably one of my most favorite parts of the evening. There were so many great parts. But, and we're also going to do another dinner. So for everybody out there that's paying attention, June 5th, we will do a virtual dinner. You can go to the Gay Haas website, gayhaascafe.com, which you can see on the screen right now, and sign up for the dinner. It is a dinner for, well, explain a little bit about what.
Well, here's what we're doing. It's with BV, okay? And we're going to be featuring 3 of their wines with our 3-course premier fondue dinner. We'll have the Chardonnay with our cheese fondue. We're going to enjoy a Pinot Noir with the entree fondue. And our entree fondue is made up of the beef tenderloin, the chicken, and the Gulf white shrimp. Assorted vegetables, 8 dipping sauces. And then we'll finish you off with the dark Belgian chocolate fondue. You will flame it. You'll roast marshmallows. And then you'll dip pound cake and assorted fruits into the chocolate. So, and we'll have a lively discussion all about the wines and all about fondue and about people's memories at Gay Haas.
Yeah, I am looking forward to that. And then after the dinner, dipping some pretzels at the bonfire in my backyard like I did last time. Oh, it was so much fun. But we are going to have the winemaker from Beaulieu Vineyard, Trevor Durling, who is a young, look at that handsome guy. He is also the GM of the actual vineyard at such a young age, a true talent. And he's only the 5th actual winemaker of BV in over 100 plus years. So pretty cool to have him on along with us. So it's going to be another great dinner with you guys.
So if anybody's interested, just give us a call here at Gay Haas.
Yes.
Anytime between 11 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock in the morning to 8. And we'll answer any questions for you. We'll take your reservation. We'll have everything set up for you. You can pick it up. If you need it delivered, we will make it happen for you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I see Laurent Bunkowski just popped on. Oui fondue. So nice to see you. But yeah, what also is really cool is you're doing to-go kebabs, which for even takeout dinners right now is really quick and easy. So if anybody is interested in ordering takeout kebabs, they've got a great program. Curbside.
Yeah. I mean, people fall in love with Gay Haas for many, many reasons. Some is the romance and why they're here celebrating. Some love the cheese. Some love the chocolate. But when it comes to the entree course, the beef, the chicken, the shrimp, the vegetables, they're all sized up for the perfect shish kebab. But then you have our 8 house-made dipping sauces. And after you have dined here once or twice, you are fanatical about the sauces you love. You come in here, you tell your server, okay, I'll have this meat, it's in seafood, but give me 2 extra of this sauce, give me 3 extra of this sauce. because I know that's what I want. So we're going to be featuring our sauces too with our kebabs. And we have a kebab kit. It's 8 kebabs. You can select whatever combination you would like. Comes with 3 sauces, and that's $45. If you want more kebabs, we can add to it. If you want more sauces, we can add to that too. So
Plenty of options.
it's not about dipping into a pot. We're about cooking on a grill.
Absolutely. I just see comments here. Hi, Aunt Phyllis there. Also, Mike Larson, will Geha's Cafe ship to Michigan? Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. You
Something
guys feel like going fishing? So, and, Barbara Touch says, Dad and I were there many years ago, and true, very romantic. Yes. And then they had 4 kids. So
It must have been very romantic.
it was, yeah. And you're also doing Father's Day specials coming up too.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us about those.
Father's Day is truly all about the grilling. When we feature Mother's Day here, when we were open for business, we would bring in a massage therapist. Bob would get a 5-minute massage, not a 5-minute, a 3-minute massage by his massage therapist just to relax, and they'd come back to a glass of champagne at the table. For fathers, it's hard for us to do anything because people don't take fathers out. They like to grill out. So we're creating the perfect surf and turf experience. It's going to be a 24-ounce cowboy ribeye steak along with a 20-ounce lobster tail. Okay?
Wow.
And we're going to have the fixings with it, the potatoes and the vegetables and the roasted corn. You just need a grill at home, and you need to do it. Haven't come up with a price yet, but we know what it will look like, and it's going to be fantastic. It's really going to spoil fathers. And
Well, that's
if
good.
you want the lobster tail and steak, you got the shish kebabs.
I love it.
Super dance.
Well, next time you guys are going to hire a massage therapist, you know I'm a massage therapist, right?
No.
You do everything. What don't you do?
I'll give you massages. I'll pour your wine. I'll play you some music, you know. Anyway, it sounds great. I love it. And you know, so I'm very much looking forward to our next dinner. It's been such a blast working with you. The history at Geha's is amazing, and it's a truly romantic spot. You know what? And I wonder if you even have your flamenco guitarist. Maybe you slip in one of his CDs into your takeout bags. Just, I don't know.
That is a possibility.
Another thought. You never know.
That is a possibility.
It's a possibility. That'd be a great idea, actually.
Yes. So, and I would just like to thank you so much for being on the show this week. And I see so many people out there. Ed Roseman, hey, Auntie Julie and Jeff. So you actually used to work with Ed Roseman back in the day.
Yes, yes.
I know we talked about this because it is such a small world. So there's a picture of Ed in his sunglasses and dapper hat. He's now hanging out in Arizona.
Lucky him.
Yeah, exactly. Lucky him. But always has good stuff to say about you. So,
Thank you.
and Darla, that might have been even before you.
It was.
Oh, it was. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so it's always good, you know, to know that he was well liked, you know.
I hear that a lot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so everybody just remember to tune in. Next week we're going to be featuring some sparkling wines, but also don't forget to make your reservation. Join us for the virtual wine dinner. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it, June 5th. My Uncle Nick and my Aunt Phyllis, I invited them too. And she's just saying they were at Geha's about 5 years ago.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hard to forget them. And I did invite them to the wine dinner. So
Good.
Wonderful.
maybe they'll be able to make it now. But yeah, be sure to make your reservations. And I wanted to say cheers to you guys. Thank you so much. So
Cheers.
you're going to go back into the green room, hang out there. There's more drinks and more food. And I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks for being on the show.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.
Everybody out there, thank you again for joining us for another great week of Spirited Convos. Please join us for this wine dinner. I can't wait. I'm very excited about it. It's a great time from your living room. And be sure to tune in next week. And cheers to all of you. And let's fondue. Moving forward, using all my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing all around your face. Never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I stopped the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I won't do. I'll stop the world and melt with you. See you next week, everybody.